Check in, family. It's Ken Stevens Jr. here. We're coming back with another lesson on the BLK Agenda. It's a new week, a new lesson. All right, today we're going to be talking about self-control and business. All right, this is a topic that's kind of ignored when you are going into business because a lot of people think it doesn't apply to them, but self-control is a big part of you running a business, a corporation, and even running your life. All right, and that's how we're going to tie the two in together today, because it's not something that should be separate from one another when you do go into your life's work and you're going into your journey as well as a business manager or a business owner. All right, so it's definitely something that has to be synonymous, I would say, in some ways before you get into this. But before we get into that, all right, I'm big on self-control and our self-mental mindset. All right, so a big thing is for us, before we are trying to capture the world, we have to capture ourselves first. That is one of the biggest things that I have to say about us as a people or anyone in general. You have to master yourself before you try to master the world. All right, because you have been through a lot of things, a lot of trauma, a lot of different people. People left your life, people into your life, and you have to be able to control yourself, control your thoughts, and master yourself before you are going out into the world to start a business. All right, because the first thing I always tell people, your mindset is everything. If your mindset is not right, then you won't have the proper, fortitude, or the proper, I would say finesse, but be properly prepared to get further into your business, because there will be those same roadblocks that happen in your personal life. They will come into your business. Someone will challenge your morals. Someone will challenge your mindset. Someone will challenge you physically, probably, if they have a big enough problem, which, you know what I'm saying? Because I know we all been there with that customer for hell, so to speak. All right, so I just want to give you that piece before we get started. If you're just checking in, we have tonight's live. It'll be going about self-control and business. Now, it's gonna be a little, it's gonna be a little deep today, I'll say. All right, so make sure you come in here with an open mind and you are ready to learn. All right, and I would say probably take some notes tonight, because this is probably one of the more important lessons, because we're going to be talking about ourselves and the human body as well as it pertains to self-control and business. All right, and I hope everybody doing well. Peace and love, family. All right, so let's jump into it. All right, what is self-control? All right, self-control is to manage your desires and your impulses. All right, so when you have to master your desires and your impulses, these are the things that we want to jump on right away. These are the things we want to do at the drop of a hat. It don't matter. It'd be like your friend be like, "Hey, let's go to Orlando. It's 3 in the morning." Like, what we going there for? I want to go to Volcano Bay, just out of the blue. But you got work the next day or something. You have a bigger obligation. That's an impulsive move, all right, that you will do, all right, because you just want to go. And you look at your self-control out the window, because the people you are around, your friend around, not saying they're bad per se, but that's just something that didn't lend well to the situation that you had going on, but you did let it take over. All right, and our desires, they can be sexual, and our desires for money and things like that, but we'll get into that a little later. All right, hold on to that one. All right, what is your foundation and why it matters? All right, when it comes to what is self-control. All right, a lot of people haven't dealt with their trauma, so let's talk about that. All right. So when you do not deal with your traumas, you're putting yourself in a situation to make that your foundation. All right, because if all you know is trauma and bad, when things are going really, really good and something happens, you're going to go back to that traumatic experience. All right, and it's not going to lend well to your self-control, because now you are submitting to your lowest state, probably into some form of depression as well when it comes to that self-control piece. All right, because you can't control your mental thoughts, because your foundation is the depression. All right, so you have to renew your mind, you have to renew yourself when you are going into this realm of self-control and making it its wholeness and making it your new foundation. And if you don't know what a foundation is, just to give you an example, a foundation, that's the bottom of the house. All right, it's pretty much, I would say, impenetrable, right? It's pretty much impenetrable, the foundation of the house. So that's the thing that is concrete, that is the thing that is, embedded, all right, in your life. And a lot of people, they have the wrong foundation. They haven't found a new foundation. They wonder why their life is going a certain way, or they have disarray. It's because they haven't, dug up that foundation and renewed it. All right, and foundations do get renewed. Sometimes you got to knock the whole damn house down and start over. And think about that as far as your life as well. All right. Now, second point that we'll go into, all right, is abstinence. All right, so that's the ability to restrain from indulging. All right, so when a lot of people hear abstinence, all right, first thing they think of, what's the first thing y'all thought about when you heard abstinence? Y'all tell me, what's the first thing you thought about when you hear the word abstinence? Y'all give it to me, the first word that you think about when you hear abstinence. All right, because a lot of people, they have the wrong idea about what abstinence is, and they kind of conjoin it to with another word I'll get into in a second. Once y'all give me the first word that y'all think about when you hear abstinence.
No sex.
No sex. All right, good. All right, I figured that would be the first word. No sex. All right, but by definition, abstinence is the ability to refrain from indulging. All right, so we have to know that words have power, and this is the ability to stop from indulging. All right, so this is not only indulging in sex, but it's other areas of your life. You might be overindulging in eating. You might be overindulging in spending your money. You might be overindulging in giving your time to a certain individual, all right, or putting it into certain tasks that don't need all of that energy. So that's abstinence, all right? So you have to stop yourself from indulging and recognize, that problem that you do have, all right? All right, now, the thing with abstinence, all right, if you don't have this, all right, it could stop your growth, all right, and your cash flow, all right? So like I said, you're putting all that energy might be into one thing or one person. You can stop your growth and cash flow because you are being consumed completely by it and you have no cutoff. All right, a lot of times I like to tell people, make a date for yourself and don't be late. All right, because a lot of us, we will not set dates for ourselves to do stuff mentally, physically, and whatnot. We just go about it because that's what we want to do, and it's our human nature, which is fine. But this is where you'll find yourself getting consumed and you feel like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what's going on. I don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you just overwhelmed at this point because there is no set dates, all right? And you allowed something to consume you completely and you have to stick to the original plan, all right? Y'all know Big Sean, stick to the plan. I like that song a lot. All right, if y'all know it, go look it up. It's a pretty good song by him. All right, my next one, all right? For me, and this is a personal story, all right? Something that I started, I had to check myself pretty much. All right, what happened? Going to the jewelry store. All right, I had to stay out the jewelry store because I kept going, and then I had to check myself, and I was like, all right, let me see how much money I spent. You know what I'm saying? Like that was me checking myself because I had to look like, okay, I spent this much money on this. What could I have did different or did with that money? Well, how could I have helped someone? All right, so I had to check myself on that and see that I was indulging because I never put a dollar amount on what I wanted to spend. I put an item amount, but I didn't check the dollar amount. All right, and those are two totally different things. All right, and you have to have that discern when you are spending money or being consumed by something, and have the abstinence factor within your decisions. All right, all right, and then another thing I put, that money could have went towards the business that I was using. All right, because the example that I gave is when you get money, you start to get more money. The first thing you do is think about things that you don't have, all right? And it's not necessarily things that you need. It's just things that you don't have and you want, all right? Now, the last one for abstinence that I got is a self-audit has to happen, all right? So you have to do a self-audit, all right? A lot of people, they were like, all right, audit, that got to do with money inventory or something like that, all right? No, self-audit, that is you checking yourself, all right? Some like what I just talked about. So when you are checking yourself, are you like, you gotta sit down with your damn self. Be for real with yourself. I sometimes be like, Ken, you tripping. All right, you really tripping. Like we off track. We gotta get back right. You have to do a self audit of yourself, and you also have to audit the people around you as well. That's another thing, but that could be a whole nother live. All right, so self audit has to happen, all right, because we have a lot of people, and this is going back to business. They be like, oh, I want to make $1 million, but you didn't have any type of abstinence or self control to manage $10,000. How the hell are you going to get to $1 million? You will blow $1 million in no time because you did never even learn how to manage $10,000. I hope that makes sense, all right? Don't let that go over your head, all right? You got to manage little before you can manage big, all right? And you have to be ready to manage big, all right? Because a lot of people think they're ready. Well, a lot of people are ready. I would say that. You are ready, but you're not prepared for it. You're not properly prepared. So, there's a difference between ready and being prepared, all right? Now, far as our next part that we're going into is retention, all right? And this is of the male and female. Now, this is where it gets deep, all right? So I talked to you about, it's going to get a little deep, all right? We're going to talk about some grown-up stuff here, all right? But this is you keeping it real with yourself when we're going into this segment, all right, with male and female retention, or man and woman, however you want to call it. All right. So the first point is reserve your energy to reserve yourself. All right, you have to be able to reserve yourself and reserve your energy so you can get tasks done throughout the day. It is not just your daily tasks; it's what you want to do. The things that are going to make you progress. All right, you have to retain your own energy. All right, and be in control of your own energy. You can't let the world dictate what you do. All right, because a lot of people think that they're a governor. They want to govern a business. They want to do all that, but they don't even govern their own lives. You have to be the CEO of your own life as well. And what I have learned also, you have to have a mission statement for yourself and your business, all right? Because you are a corporation. And a lot of times we'll tell people you are the products and services as well, because people, they don't buy products and services. People buy people, all right? And if your spirit ain't sitting right, or it seems like you don't have some sort of, refrain from what you're doing, then it's going to be hard for people to buy into what you got going on, because you may not be in alignment with what they're doing. All right. Now the next one, all right, is for our males. All right, we have to lose the skeet mentality. All right, I know it's funny, but it's talking about male retention. All right, and as far as they call it, if you want to put a flower on it and make it look pretty, seminal conservation. All right, so if you never heard about this, it's called semen retention. All right, this is where men, we have to abstain from having sex, all right, so we can conserve our energy and conserve our seeds, all right, because it's been embedded in us through music, through our hip-hop culture, through us growing up, not knowing enough about our bodies and our sexual organs, all right. So a lot of young men, they get into sex and think this is something that's supposed to be driving them. This is for them, their motivation piece and things like that. And it's really not. You have to, once you can control your lower self, you can control your higher self and put yourself in a better position, all right. Now, the next part, all right, about seminal conservation that a lot of people don't know. When you are climaxing as a man, you are losing brain fluid when that's happening, all right? That you're losing brain fluid, literally brain cells, when you are, climaxing. And if you are constantly doing this doesn't lend well to your mental state, all right? And you have to notice, because I know as men on here, you probably like, what the hell is he talking about? And I'm gonna just give an example. Please don't shun me. But if you line up 5 women in a week that you got going on, I bet that'd be the worst week of your life. I bet it's probably gonna be the worst week, not that week or the next week. Now you got 5 different women that you got to answer to. You got 5 different fake good morning text messages that you're going to put on. Your energy will be depleted. You will probably not get everything done that you're trying to get done, because you are pushing all of your energy out, all right? And you have to notice that the world runs off of energy, all right? And I hope that makes sense. Do not let that go over your head, all right? Now, the next part, we get into the ladies now, all right? So y'all, hey, don't beat me up now, all right? All right, but listen, we gotta, ladies, we gotta listen to our bodies. All right, there is a such thing as womb trauma. All right, that a lot of people don't know about. I recently just started studying this, and going on. I will get to the questions towards the end. Just make sure we keep them in order. All right, womb trauma. All right, so an example I can give that's the easiest is you have trauma that comes from a womb. If it's from, you might have been raped, or you might have been, sexually assaulted, something of that nature, or had bad sexual experiences, that is trauma within your womb that you haven't dealt with. All right, and also what goes into that is the soul ties. All right, so I know a lot of us, have y'all seen the movie Avatar? All right, the Avatar, this is the best example that I could give you, because Avatar, that was literally the movie where they showed us these characters coming into one another. And you have to understand, with sex, this is the only time that 2 humans literally become one outside of the womb. All right. And you have to understand what soul ties can do to you and what womb trauma can do to you, because when you have womb trauma, that gets passed on to the fetus. All right, and the biggest example that I can give you of that is when we are eating these meats. All right, like the cows. All right, if you have seen movies where they're killing cows and things of that nature, and you ever look at the cow's eyes, you can see their eyes get huge and they start dilating, because that is a chemical reaction happening within that cow their body. And they're releasing that flight or fight response within them. And when you are doing that, that is a chemical reaction, and they're releasing those toxins, all right, that's in their body, into their bloodstream and their meat. All right, and this is why, you shouldn't probably be eating or consuming a lot of meat, because we're taking on that trauma of what that cow went through, that stress that they went through, and things of that nature. I know it's a little deep, but this is the real of what's going on, all right, and something we're not cognizant of. All right, all right, and we went over that. All right, so the last one, this is for my men and my women, as far as number 3 for retention, all right. When you are constantly having sex, this is what I'm saying, you have to have this sort of retention, all right? Because when you are constantly having sex, you are literally submitting to your lower self, all right? If you are submitting to your lower self all the time, you will be low, all right? You will be low on energy. You will be low on ambition. You will be low on preserving yourself. You will be low in every single aspect because it's something that you're constantly committing to. Now, if you are married, this is a different story, all right? So hopefully you pick the right partner, you know what I'm saying? So you can... Your partner, if you got the right partner, they should be having you getting hyped and you ready at the, beginning of the day, end of the day, whatever, however, when y'all do it, all right? And I know it's different times of the day where this can happen and, you feel good and whatnot. So that's a whole different factor when you're married, but I just want to throw that in there because marriages and having that's different. I'm a single young man, so I'm speaking from that experience. I'm not married, but you do have to have that conservation, all right, in there, because I know an individual like myself, the biggest example that I could give is if I'm overindulging in sexual activity, that's typically when I'm least productive in my real life because I'm constantly probably talking to someone or giving this person my energy and talking to them, and I'm not focusing on my business, all right, because my energy is drained and my focus is drained, all right, because now I'm just constantly thinking probably about sex or something like that or some type of intercourse, all right. And it could also, your blessings could be tied up, all right, in people. All right, this goes back to the soul ties because we all have been there where you feel like, man, if I just get rid of this woman or I'm just able to get rid of my baby mama or my baby daddy or something like that, this is where you feel like your blessings are locked up within a person. So when you are separating from that person, you start to see your life get better. That's part of those soul ties that happen, when you are engaged in that sexual activity or even, lending them your energy that you shouldn't, all right? All right, and then our last part, all right, the benefits of retention. All right, so this will be real short and we'll be ending here soon. All right, you'll have increased motivation, increased muscle growth, and better overall happiness. All right, so this just wraps up pretty much everything that I was talking about as far as the motivation, the happiness, and things of that nature, because once you be able to master your mental mindset and not submit to your lower self or your submitting to your lower self and you're getting to the highest version of yourself, all right, because the higher version is here. All right, remember I always talk about we create our own heaven and hell, and we are constantly committing to our lower self. All right, we are committing to our hell. All right, and I'm not saying sex causes hell, so don't even go there. All right, I'm just saying you're not lending well to your highest version of yourself if you're constantly being overstimulated, especially in your lower region. All right, that's all I am saying. All right. But another thing that I wanted to say is that, and this will kind of bring it home for us, all right, we claim to be some of the smartest creatures on the earth, all right, who walk this earth as human beings, but we don't have the presence of mind, well, not everybody, but some people, we don't have the presence of mind to where we have seasons that we have for sex. An example I can give is dogs. All right, they go into heat, they know it's time to have sex. Outside of that, they really aren't having sex because they know when it's time to do that thing. It's in lions, you can look at lions and all different type of animals. They couldn't be having sex every single day and then be able to be productive or protect themselves and their family or go hunt and get the food that they need to be, to progress in the kingdom that they're in. So that'll be the thing and bring it together for you. I'll open it up for questions now, all right? So we got any questions or comments?
Yeah, we have one comment, all smile. She said, Ken, maybe you should be a health teacher instead.
Nah. I mean, I got my degree in psychology, so this how it kind of ties into that because that is, the mind, and it does seep into the body as well. All right, we had one over here.
Yeah, Nazar, he said, great stuff, bro, Ken.
No, okay, good. All right, anybody else before we move on? All right, so the next thing, all right, announcements, all right, for the Black Agenda. So, well, this is more for my Instagram people, but I'll be moving the Instagram. I'll primarily be the posts that I have and the videos will be going on my personal Instagram now. The Black Agenda page will still be up, all right, for people to go there, but I'm basically just going to be using that page to archive. I'm going to archive all the pictures that are on there and just have the videos there. All right, I guess.
Xavier Barber said, so are you saying sex is a bad thing outside of marriage?
No, I wouldn't say sex is a bad thing outside of marriage whatsoever. Hell no. All right, you can do your thing. I'm just saying it has to be. You have to conserve yourself within it. All right, it has to be a limit to what you're doing. All right, because if you're single, you know, we humans, we all want that feeling. It's not a bad thing at all, but you have to be able to conserve it. All right, and not be abusing it. All right, because you're being overstimulated by it. But yeah, not outside of marriage is not a bad thing at all. It's just you want to be conserving it. All right, and this goes back to what I said in the beginning with abstinence. All right, because the first thing about abstinence people think about is sex, but abstinence really just means the ability to refrain from indulging. All right, and that's what we need to have some abstinence within our sex, within our business, within our eating habits, within the energy that we put out into the world as well.
Nazar said, bro, Ken, also, do you think this ties into sex magic?
Sex magic, I haven't really got into that yet, so I can't speak on it. I literally just contracted out a spiritual coach, so she's helping me explore all of these things. All right, and that'll be another thing for you. Make sure you get if you are getting into the realm of business and you have the funds, I would say make sure you get you a spiritual coach and a business coach. All right. Some people need a therapist. I know a therapist wouldn't work for me. I'm kind of past that stage. I'm more of a person that needs a spiritual person in my life, and a business coach to keep me grounded and keep me on track. This is part of who keeps me, you know, in my abstinent state as things might be going wild in my life. I need somebody to keep me on track. As smart as I am, stuff does happen. All right, so back to announcements and the Instagram. The Black Agenda page on Instagram, I will literally just be posting apparel, and I'll be posting the teachings on there, and I'll also be posting the teachings on my personal page, so it won't be constantly being updated like my personal page, because I had to come to the realization that I need to make my life easier as far as it comes to social media and not letting that consume me. All right, this goes back to our lesson as well. All right, and then that's what the announcement for that. All right, as well, I'm doing consultations now, and the Black Agenda is shifting towards Black women startups in their business. So that is one of the main focus of the Black Agenda right now. As I felt in my blood before this whole Breonna Taylor thing even happened, that our Black women need to be uplifted, because if our Black women are uplifted, the nation can be uplifted, and especially if it's business and empowerment. All right, because if we're able to shift our women, their mindset, and everything that they got going on, we can make ourselves better, because we'll have to be better. All right, and then with the business consult, and I do men too, it don't matter, it's just the focus will be on the women. Also, I'll be having an ebook coming out about how to start your business, all right, because I get a lot of questions, so I have literally created a book with actionable steps and table of contents for you to start your business, and how to get things started, and why you want to get it started, and how to check yourself, and then the ending of what you need to get everything done. All right.
All Smile says, do you think living a life in abstinence is a weakness for men?
Living life in abstinence is a weakness for men. I don't know what you mean by that. You got to kind of explain that one. Said, is it a weakness for men living in abstinence?
Do you think living a life in abstinence is a weakness for men?
Is it a weakness for men or for men?
For men.
All right, for men, I don't think it's a weakness for men. Living a life of abstinence at all is actually probably the most empowering thing that we can do. All right, because that is showing the ultimate self-control. And I can give an example with myself personally. If I'm dating someone or talking to someone, whatever the case may be, the first thing that I usually like to highlight is that you have to know that the same thing that you will like and love me for is the same thing that you'll hate me for and dislike me. And it's the self-discipline that I have to discern and, kind of pull myself away from people. All right, because, you think you want somebody that's disciplined, but once you get that person and they don't want to have sex as often as your last partner might have, and then they might not want to be around you as much. They might have a lot going on. Those same things that you love the person for, you will hate them for. All right, so it's actually pretty empowering, because that's a person that knows themselves and that has committed to themselves. All right, because a lot of people, we haven't committed to ourselves. We have committed to, go getting this money, go chase the bag, but we haven't committed to changing our mindset. We haven't committed to changing our life or anything of that nature, and then we wonder why things are the way they are, if that makes sense. But a life of absence is not a weakness for man. It's actually very empowering, and I advise it, some form of it. You don't have to be full blown with it, but you need to have some form of it as it deals to your healthcare, your body, sex, and all those things, your business, everything. All right, so any more questions?
Nazar said, I need those flashcards for my kids. Was telling my wife about it. We're going to order it.
All right, yeah, just I got the link up there, blkagenda.com. The flashcards up there. I'll be shipping out some next week. All right, with the flashcards, that's another thing. Where we need to empower our children. All right, and if you see the structure that I'm creating with the Black Agenda, we started with the free teaching. We started off with the empowering. Now we're focusing on the Black women, and now we're focusing on our children as well. All right, and bringing them up. All right, we want to encompass the whole thing in the Black community, and we're being proactive, and that's why I constantly come on here and give these messages to you, because we have different movies out here like the Black Lives Matter movement. They're only showing up when somebody is dead, and we don't need that. We need to be showing up every single time we can for our people and empowering them, because you never know who needs to hear your message. And another thing, do not think your story doesn't matter. A lot of people, we have some grade A geniuses in this world that are scared to speak up. And your story, like I like to tell people, and what I've learned is your story can be someone's exit strategy. All right, because your story will give them the roadmap or the pathway to how they could change their life, how they could get out of the situation that they may have been in, and you already been there. All right, so you can tell them, how not, to go down. Now, if they decide to do it or not, that's a different ballgame. But at least you have the story out there, and people can hear you and listen to you and grow through you. All right.
All right. German Maid 90. She said, "How would a person balance their business life and dating life?"
Business life and dating life. It depends on how you date. I would say just bringing a schedule, all right, on everything, and you have to make sure that you are sticking to that schedule as well, all right. Because if you don't have a schedule, it'll be hard to date someone, all right. Because a lot of people, we just fly by the seat of our pants, but you have to be really intentional with your time, because especially if you're going to be dating, you have to show a person you're serious from the beginning. All right, about them. All right, if you're gonna truly date them. All right, but when you are getting into that, you have to figure out if y'all fit together first as well. All right, because you don't want to give a person too much of your time and then you're not really into them. But in work is work. We all gotta work. You're either working for the people if you're an entrepreneur, or you're working for a business. All right, and you just have to put that time aside from that and separate yourself from it, because you do have a life to live.
All Smile says she have came across many men that would say that they need to be sexually fluid. I've heard some say they can't live without it.
They can't live without it. I would say I agree with them that they can't live without it, but I'm just saying that the amount of sex that you will have, that is going to be a major factor in how your life goes. Because if you're a person that's constantly having sex, your life is probably not going that well. Just being honest, because it's hard to just always have sex and have different soul ties, especially if you jump from person to person, all right, and be focused, all right. Because I know me during the week, you can't during the week, off limits, like, all right, because I'm focused, I'm doing everything that I gotta do, all right, and I need to have laser focus, because I don't want to get knocked off my pivot. I don't want to be thinking about nothing else. I just want to be laser focused throughout the week, all right, and get everything done that I'm done, because stuff like that, it gets you off track. Sometimes you get lazy, you get sleepy, and now you're sleeping on yourself. All right, and if you sleep on yourself, you're gonna sleep on your dreams, and your dreams not gonna manifest themselves. All right, any more questions before we go on?
No, that's it, my brother.
All right, I think that was pretty much it for the announcements. I will be putting out the ebook next week. All right, and I want you to get it. It's gonna be completely free to the public. All right, this ebook, and also I will be opening up the book club to everyone. All right, the book club will be free now. All right, we have figured out a way to make that happen. All right, so if you are looking to get into the Black Agenda book club, all you have to do is go on the website is in there, and go down to the tab that says book club. Also, if you are looking for the flashcards, the t-shirts, and things of that nature, is also in the products and services. Or if you're looking for one-on-one consultations, it's also there on the BLK Agenda in our products and services, and everything is available for you. I'll definitely be blasting out the ebook for y'all as well on how to start your business and get things going for yourself. And it's going to be really, really good. And I know this will uplift our people and get you in the right headspace before you take on this endeavor of going into business. And it will also show you how serious you are about yourself and going into business. All right. Any questions?
All Smart said, dang, so I have to purchase the book now, Ken?
The book will be free. The ebook will be free. You don't have to purchase the book. It's going to be free. The book that I'm putting out this week, it'll be free to everybody. All right, it'll be free. I just ask that you leave a review and let me know how it goes for you. It'll be a short, quick guide book to start your business, so it won't be nothing that's, exponential that you don't want to read. And it has actionable steps in it. It's not just something for you to read. You actually have to do work, all right, within the book itself. All right, but we good? All right, but other than that, that's the announcements. Trying to think. We have, how many we got on here?
We got 11
All right.
and 3.
All right, so let's I guess we can do a giveaway. All right.
All Smart said, wait, so it's a new book for the book club?
No, the book that'll be coming out, this book is new for starting your business. It's not new for the book club. The book that I'll be putting out, it's called Do for Self or Die. All right, volume 1. So this is where they'll be talking about if you want to start a business, and it's going to be a quick guide book to starting a business, like what is your why, things that you're checking yourself. It'll have the business plan in there, it'll have the elevator picture in there, it'll have goal setting, and then it'll have things to also check you towards the end and what you can do to propel yourself into business. All right, because I found that there's a void in people starting a business. They have more questions than they have answers, and they have no precursors to when they are getting into business. So I just curated this information that I have obtained and put it into an ebook so that people can actually have something that they're using to get into business or get in the mindset, or this is something that they really want to do. All right, but let's see. As far as our giveaway, and I do have another book coming out, but that's down the line. That's down the line before the end of the year. But for our giveaway, let's see our giveaway. All right, I'll do a t-shirt. That's fine. A t-shirt. But I'm trying to think of a question for our giveaway. Let's see. That's gonna be too hard for y'all because we have a lot of new followers. As far as our giveaway, let me think of a good question for you. All right, for our giveaway. What were the 3 benefits? What were the 3 benefits of retention? All right, of female and male retention. The 3 benefits I wrote down. If anybody could guess it, let's see if anybody was taking notes. Somebody got a comment?
Nah, not yet. I think they coming in. They thinking about it.
All right. If you give me 2 out of the 3, it'll be good. If you give me 2 out of the 3, all right, because 2 things in particular you can definitely get off back. There's 2 things you get off back. There's 2 things you get off back with our giveaway. All right, it's 2 things that I talked. 2 out of the 3 things that'll be easy. All right, for you to pinpoint. That we talked about the benefits of retention. All right, we got any?
All Smart said she came late, so now.
That was the very last thing I did, so.
Nazar got one.
Alright.
He said muscle growth.
Alright, muscle growth. Alright, give me one more. Give me one more. We got muscle growth, you gotta give me one more. There's one more. This one should be easy. If you got that one, I thought that was gonna be the hard one.
Nazar also said passing out spirit connection and bonding. LOL, I came in late.
If you got muscle growth, that was the second one that I wrote down as the benefit. So you gotta have the first one. Y'all know I'm short. So one more. We got muscle growth. Then we had the other two are basically emotions. I'll put it like that. It'll improve something to help y'all out.
Balance. That's all.
Balance.
Not balance.
It's
brother.
an emotion. All right, I'm gonna give y'all about 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds for we.
That's all I said. Brain flu is mental.
Emotion.
Hey.
He said brain flu is mental. You shooting in the dark right now, boy.
Mm-hmm. Mental stability. LOL.
Alright. Nah, not mental stability per se. It's an emotion. We all talk about this. Usually when you are getting something that you like, this happens. I'm pretty much giving it away.
She, German May said operating higher.
Nah.
Olivia said happiness. Carlos said soul ties, happy. And Nazar said happy.
All right, sorry, you got it then, because it's two. All right, so it was he put muscle growth and happiness. All right, so the three, if we're gonna go back to it, the benefits of retention, you had increased motivation, increased muscle growth, and better overall happiness. All right, so just make sure you got this down. But other than that, our questions are done. The giveaway, Yazar, make sure you message me with your name, address. Yeah, your name and address so I can ship out the shirt to you. Or if you're local, I can drop it off. Just let me know in my inbox because I can't see like who it is on the other side. All right, because I'm over here, obviously. But we're good for the day. All right.
Nazar said I really felt like I won Jeopardy.
Oh, that's funny. All right, but we are done with our lesson for self-control and business. All right, you know, if you can hit me up if you need consultation or if you need help starting your LLC or getting things started in your business, I do consultations one-on-one. All right, and I'll definitely help you get going in the right direction with anything that you are trying to get done, especially our Black women. If you need that help and you need that guidance, I am here for you as well. All right, for empowering and education. All right, but other than that, peace and love, family. And one thing I want you to remember. All right, remember this if you don't remember anything else from this live. All right, you are wealthy, you are valued, and you are worthy. All right, peace and love, family.
I don't want to delete this stuff.
What's that?